Right, so everybody, welcome to another stream. How are we doing? How are we doing? Alright, today we're on Windows and literally we cannot have music because I can't figure out how to deal with my settings. Um, I get some weird errors in OBS to do with like the encoder settings or something like this, but yeah. Hope everyone's doing good and having a good week. How's my green screen looking? Um, yeah. So today we're porting over the the game without engine code base that I've been working on over the past couple of streams. So get the chat open almost. How's view? Hey there, Sully. How are you there? What the F, Lub? And hey there, Glorious Sir. How you doing? How you guys doing? Yeah, Windows defeated me. There's too many UIs, you know? Too much for a simple man like me. Um, so we have done some if defs in the code base, but we haven't got a build script, nor have we got. Press this button and make it chat only. Okay. Right, you guys on my phone, say hey phone. Um, then we also need to edit the OS windows. .c file, open up a window, that sort of thing, right? And we also we might need a win main as well. Oh my days. Yeah. And we also have to bring in HCC, like the Windows executable for that. Right. So it's all looking good. Um, so we should be able to get up and running in a reasonable time, I reckon. And then after that, the plan is what we're going to do is work on the synchronization code so we can have 2 or more dispatches in our graphics. Because at the moment we can only have one because now it's just going to overwrite everything. And I'm glad to see that Windows comes with like TikTok here for some reason. But anyway, oh yeah, you might want to try and do WSL as well. Right. Let's start off with the Windows side of things. So, actually no, let's try the WSL. So if I go and bring up the Windows terminal. Yeah, very important things, clearly. So we're going to try and see if we can get the Linux version running. I saw on the Windows docs that it mentioned OpenGL, but I didn't see Vulkan. So we're going to give it a go. So if we go to /mount/c, this gets us to our C directory on Windows. I can go to users, then me, and then I can go to the workbench and game without an engine thing. Finally, we're here. Now, if I try and run the build script for Linux on Windows, sorry, that one, it says that it tries to run HCC and you know the SpearV tools installed. So to do that, we'll just do a classical. Right, someone's doing gardening, so excuse that noise. Yeah, so apt-get install, and we're going to install the SpearV tools, I think it's called. We can tab and find it. SpearV tools, that's all we need. Yep. And then we also probably want to install the Vulkan SDK as well, but let's just see how that goes. What's the best dev environment for Windows? I'm going to use Visual Studio just because it's what you use to get the compilers installed in your system, and I can't be bothered to faff to get my vim config over here and everything. What version of Windows are you running? Windows 11, the latest and worst. So we're now got SpearV tools installed, so we can run this. Hey there, Zaka, Sully. And I'm Ket Payne, welcome. Right, so now it says Clang cannot be found. So obviously, because I'm in the Linux side of things, I need to install Clang as well. I'm going to install all of these thingies. There you go. What is Atlas 11? Right, so see how good of a job this does. So now I should be able to run Clang. I don't have xlib. Can I have libxlib, please? Okay, just need xlib. libx11. libx11 dev. So that's typically what we need if you want some developer packages and stuff to actually develop stuff. You say lib whatever dash dev in Ubuntu. It's just the terminologies. Right, so now, oh, float 16 is not supported in this target. Hmm. But why? And then in my Vulkans as well. Lib Vulkan dash dev. All those packages, please. So, right. Should we tweak that file and see what happens? So it's trying to in HCC. Where's it at? The third party HCC, right? HMaths, and it's in the types header. And here's our glorious editor, Visual Studio. We basically use that built-in float thing on Linux. But let's just disable it always and a 0, right? Let's see what happens. All right, and because this is Ubuntu, it's got an out-of-date package with the latest and greatest Vulkan, right? Vulkan. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. LS user include. Maybe you can't just LS it. That won't do it. I think we want a less. Wait, cat. We need a cat. Then we want to pipe into less. Right, so there's a few in the Vulkan header here, and I'm just trying to see what version it is. Version of the header 204 means absolutely nothing to me. Let's see if it has version 1.3. All right, that's good. That's good. We found the information we need. So at least it's got Vulkan 1.3. So all I need to do is nuke that SOB from the GPU backend. So we're looking at trying to ban that Vulkan arrow string right at the bottom. This one. Compression exhausted. Build. Ah, we built it. Right, this is good. So can we run a Linux binary that's Vulkan on Windows? That is the question. Basic stripped down version of Windows. Aha. Never knew such thing existed. Without TikTok. Yeah. I got WhatsApp, TikTok, everything. Instagram, ESPN. All the best apps, the essential apps that every human being. Ubuntu and Debian repos have headers in separate packages, so yeah, they do, don't they? Yeah, and you got to know how to navigate. But hey, the VMT, hey, I didn't get to see you. You're here just in time for the Windows dev, you know, your favorite operating system. Hey there, Wojilla. A real OS, I guess. Onto Voxel rendering with Vulkan Compute and C, but I don't know how useful is it. Feels like it's been done 100 times already. Yeah, that's the reason why I want to avoid the voxels too, because everyone else is doing it, but it's still better than Minecraft, right? Um, yeah. Maybe you can do something extra unique about it. Just have have your own twist on it, so it's not so like so. So let's try and run this executable that we've made. It's probably not going to work. Right, let's. Our shaders read from storage, whatever, but this device does not support it. Why? Why? So it's getting a virtualized driver, isn't it? Something like that. So you have to install WSL2 Vulkan. Well, it seemed to create an instance, didn't it? But then after the instance, I liked it. Hmm. Yeah, let's install the Vulkan tools and use the Vulkan info package. Vulkan. Vulkan info. So let's throw that into less because I like less of it. I want to find the GPU. LLVM pipe, my favorite. Um, so LLVM pipe is some form of. I've heard it. I've heard about it. Let's actually learn about it. Right, it's a Mesa thingy. It's a software rasterizer that uses LLVM. So we're selecting 0 and then right. But is there an ID? Is there an ID of 1? We have some right. Let's see. GPU. Wait, did I not type that out right? Yeah, let's say GPU 1. Right, so there's only a GPU 0. Let's try this one. GPU ID 0. Right, so we got that, yeah. Now let's change that for 1. Nothing. Right, so we've only got. We've only got one device, and that's a software rasterizer version, which basically doesn't support the things we need. So maybe maybe we can't do WSL, and you have to do natively, which is fine. It's just interesting to see if we can do it this way, and if we can't, we'll just do the. We'll just continue with doing it the native way anyway, right? Yeah. Seem right. Okay. Seems like they're not going to support it. Let's move on from this endeavor then and get to the real development. Yeah, the dev packages have headers and the others miss stuff. Yep. RDR2. Graphics. Oh, Red Dead Redemption. As I was thinking, like, did you misspell it as R2D2? there's my brain in Star Wars mode. It's like trying to. Yeah, got it. That's fine. No worries. I need to internet more. Yeah, the Red Dead Redemption game, the graphics in it are really good. They look super decent. Like they spent a lot of good time on that. So it says a nightmare. Yeah. Well, maybe I can get my Vim working in there, right? Yeah, actually, that's the way I could Vim on Windows. Why don't I just do that? Why don't I just bring my Vim over, install it in the Ubuntu thing, and then we can Vim on Windows? Because I always find the problem with Windows using Vim on Windows, and maybe because I'm so crap at setting it up, but I can never get the terminal bit to work where it goes out to the shell. I've just know it just confuses me. So maybe it's just good to use Linux in. Yeah, we've now switched over to Windows because this is where the real devs hang out. Yeah, no, um, we're just porting over the code base to Windows. You see, because we've spent a couple of streams in Linux, we've got stuff working, so we might as well get like we started with nothing. Now we've got something, so we can so now we can port that something over to Windows, and then essentially when we develop the rest of this, as we develop the rest of this game, it will be a lot easier to like keep Windows working while uh, I'm developing from Linux, and so people who are following the development on Windows can also hopefully work side by side while I'm working on Linux. Obviously, some features will be bigger than others, and I have to switch over to Windows and do it. But yeah. All right, let's take a look at the link, and then we'll jam. What is this? You're using some solar in. Sweet. Making a keyboard. Oh ho ho. Well, because if you actually want to make your game playable by other people, it's got to run on Windows, right? That's what people use. Um, cool. So what we're trying to do now. So if you're running on Windows, you need to have the Vulkan SDK installed. So search for that and install it, and you get this Vulkan Cube app, and then jobs are good, right? Ooh, gotta go. Um, and you'll get like tons of you get the header files installed and everything, right? So what do we need to do to kick things off when it comes to porting? Well, I think what we're going to do. So Windows wants you to use solutions typically for Visual Studio, and it is probably a good idea to use a solution or have a solution for debugging. So let's see what happens if we open this directory in Visual Studio. How does it look? Can I just do? No, maybe that's a really bad idea. Um, yeah, I've got to go into here. Can I do a open folder? And can I just like open that folder and see what happens? Right? Does it like create a ton of crap in my directory and then I'm like crying? I've just opened up the folder and it's like done nothing. If I gotta. Is that meant to be like a project? Yeah, man. Can I have like a project thing on the side? Guess I don't like it. No, I'm not using CMake. Screw CMake. Yeah, it's just it's like CMake is like this really overcomplicated thing. You just don't need it. It's like if you look how simple a clang command is to invoke, like all it is doing that, and then like we just add all this complication on top of it. It's just silly. You can hammer roll your own system. Like it's not too difficult, but we're not that far yet. I just want to see like there's like a project thing, is there? Click solution. Ah, solution explorer. Thank you. Not so red. Thank you. Appreciate it. In the view tab, right? Ah, right at the top. We got it. Right, we put it to the left, like every good dev does. So we can see all our files in here. That's great. So if someone literally just wants to debug it, then like, so this is probably going to dump a ton of crap in my um. Yes, please. Yeah, so here you go, ton of crap. Anyway, we'll get make sure we get ignore that. That is cool. That is cool. So that's obviously a local one. Yeah, not doing bad, man. How you doing? Not so good. Doing it. So basically, the Visual Studio debugger is probably has the same number as features as GDB. Like GDB and Visual Studio have the same number of features, but GDB requires you reading a manual and trying to understand it because its UI is is not visible. It's all like commands. So you have to basically try and figure it all out by searching through docs and stuff like this. It's a lot harder. Whereas the Windows one is typically like you can use a GUI, right? But yeah. Right. So I guess we can make our own. Like, I'm thinking select a startup item. So see if we click the show all files in here, isn't it? Yeah, we can see build. And then this could be our startup item, I guess. But then like it'll be interesting to but I guess this is only a CMake thing, is it? If you open it. I'm not gonna be using CMake, that is. What does that debugger use in GUI for? I'm not I'm not sure. Wait, is that Remedy GB? Yeah, Remedy GB on Windows. Yeah, Right, so can we because you can configure a project usually options. No, it's not. It's under the project one usually. And then this is like a CMake thing, but it's like, oh, let's just create a CMake thing. Seems like this open folder thing is really orientated you wanted to use around using CMake, which is really silly. Um, so I guess the other way around it is to close it and then nuke that thing and then start again. Yeah, I want to see if you can. Wait, then pick the executable from there. Wait, so you can do open folder. This should let you there's virtual folders installation doesn't map to folders anyway, which is kind of annoying. Right, or use dev. Oh yeah, I remember this before. I remember this before. Right, I need to stop being a scrub. Um, yeah. So we say dev and hmm, you have to do that dev terminal. You have to cd all the way to where I want to go. To me, please. And then game event engine. There we go. Dev. I spell it wrong. Oh shoot, it's there. Wait, it wouldn't tab. Oh, you don't have tab complete. Maybe it's there without the thing anyway. Dev environment. Oh, okay, no, you do need it in this one. Right. Yeah, I guess I can bring that into my path and then I don't need this. But yeah, then I can say game exe from console. Yeah, but that doesn't get you all the stuff on the left, does it? What am I trying to do? So I want to try and see. So I'm just like exploring my options really. Like, I want to have a build script so people can just build it from the terminal. That's my number one thing. We're going to have that. But I'm just exploring the Windows Visual Studio thing to see, hey, can we have a Visual Studio? Can we have Visual Studio? And can we have it call that build script and then launch the executable? Like, and then ideally that would, and then also be able to view the files in the in the Solution Explorer. That's the sort of plan. But I don't want to like, I want to make that as easy as possible. Yes, you can. Awesome. This is what we need. Right, I'm going to get started on the build script while my Strand helps us out. So what we're going to do, change, copy paste it, change it to build.bat, and then that's Windows pointing done. Well, not really. So we need to use the legendary. Wait a minute, let me go back to the classics one. Notepad. And then also, we need to, you see, everything on Windows is an exe. Maybe you don't need that, but let's just be. Right. Then we probably want to go back to a script we made in a previous project. Yeah, notepad with tabs, exactly. Beautiful. Right, I'm glad that worked. So echo off because we, let's off the echo. Oh, okay, that's fine, my Stran. Don't worry, I'll figure it out. You've told me that it's real, we'll work it out. So, what we need to do is right, we need a bunch of options. Set flags. Right, we're using that language server protocol thing, aren't we? Right. I think let's turn all these buggers on. Yeah, using it on using the language server protocol, so we need this compile flags on Linux, but on Windows it's a bit different, I guess. Right. So basically, we've added some extra options here. Well, I need to go and compare them. But we need to, you need to basically link against some special built-in Windows libraries. They're in different DLLs or something like that. Then put the flags in there. Then you need to do this and then allow it to go to the new line, so you can do it like that. So if this one fails, this HEC command fails, then this one will not run. Very nice. So what else do we need to nick? So I think we're pretty good. The playground application is an actual Windows app, isn't it? So it uses WinMain. Is it? Forgot. You need to. No, it doesn't say. I think we did a real console app regardless. Let's have a look. Hey Perry. I see you checking out my windows. Alright, let's go into the notepad. I think it uses, yeah, it's a console application because it uses regular main, but we need WinMain. So we don't open up a terminal at the same time. So we need to turn on a special flag for that. I have to go and search that one up. Basically, if you create an empty solution, you can give the build script a custom command set up in the properties. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that's good. I know where that is. I can work that one out. Thank you. That's good. Right, so you got to add them manually. Ugh. Ugh. Oh yeah. That's really loud. That is super loud. Maybe it's meant to be loud. I don't know. Enjoy. Thank you so much. Sub. And enjoy, Perry. Quite loud actually, isn't it? Wait, maybe it's loud for me. Yeah, it's my volume levels. Oh no, the sun is Perry, every time you come on, man, the sun seeps through and destroys my stream. I blame Perry for the sun. Yeah, it's just loud for me, innit? Alright, I can enjoy it. Cool, so what's the next thing we want to do? So I think this will... So we could port like this, but it'll be good to get the Visual Studio thing set up so we can actually start editing files and whatnot and start whipping around. So, so if we open up Visual Studio, we should be able to go into our create new project, I guess. Empty project. Game without engine. Without engine. Whoa. Place solution and project in the same directory. I guess. So pro tip, get rid of no secure warnings. Interesting. Not same as better. Why is it better? Surely you want the project. Because it's going to do this otherwise. Look. Game of engine, game of engine, game of engine. Yeah. Oh no, what has gone on? Right, maybe we can patch it. Right, we got this. So what you do when this happens is you just delete it and try it again. So, man, software is just so bad. Create a new project, empty project for me, please. This time in the workbench. Now, hopefully, it doesn't completely destroy my directory's not empty. Of course, it isn't. Drag and drop the files from, and it will create a link. Right, excellent. I'll give that a go. Right, let's try this one out. Huh? The project already exists. When a project is created, it must be placed in a new folder. Ah! So, if I put 2 on the end, and then I can close it, and then I can, like, go into here. I can take all these things, right? Put them here. Where do I want them? Can I put it in the scripts directory and people have to go into the scripts and they can open up the solution? I think that's a decent, because then otherwise it's in the root directory and it just gets in the way, right? So I think that's a good thing too, because there's just so many files. So what I can do is I can go and just like tab through all of these here, give them a nice little rename, and then obviously I have to open them up in a glorious editor, and we're going to look for Game Engine 2 again and just right replace all that. Thank you. So you know what? I could have just put it in the build directory, but anyway, we're going to do it this way now, just because just to just because Visual Studio. Yeah, we could have redone it in that directory, but it's fine. Fine. And one more time. Right, so that ought to be good enough. So what we want to do is boot it up in the Visual Studios and just give it a go. So now we have absolutely nothing. So it was said we should be able to drag all these buggers in here, right? No, let's not do that. Let's drag all of these, throw them into Twitch. A minute. Right, so that opened them there. How's the window port going? Well, I was half an hour late because I was trying to set, like, OBS just was crying. I just couldn't set it up, even though I had it set up. So now we kind of have music going because I've had to basically, like, because I want the music to show up in the VOD. And also, I'm not even recording it, which means I like to record it so I have a local copy. But anyway, there's that one. And now we're trying to set up Visual Studio and having a ball doing that. Yeah. But anyway, when we got Visual Studio in, like, set up, which would be very soon, we can actually start running a build script and doing some actual programming. No, I'm pretty sure I did drag it into this this area here. Oh wait, into the solution. Yeah, I dragged it into the Solution Explorer. I'm pretty sure I did. So existing items. So what you're saying is we can just do that folder, and then legend has it. Why? Yeah, this is not fun. Go show them the real folder structure and add them like that. I think if you suffer from MS Build is much worse than CMake in my opinion. Yeah, I'm not using either of them. They're all worse than the thing I'm about to do, but anyway. I'm just going to do a single compilation unit for now and use a custom build script, which can be set up in here pretty simply, I think. Yeah, it's got to go and kick off something in here, I imagine. Build events. Also, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Maybe. All right, see if we can get stuff in here. So, do we have to have this layout, like header files, source files? Maybe it's fine. But can we have like a folder view? Should we Google for that? Yeah. So Visual Studio, Solution Explorer, folder view. Can I just? Oh wait, okay. There's a button. It says there's a button. What did I just do? Switch between solutions and available views. Okay. Right, I remember I put it in a directory. I remember I put it in a different directory, didn't I? I put it in a... So if I drag it out of directory, maybe I put it in a scripts directory to try and be... Right. Let's remove these buggers. Wait a minute, exclude from project. So let's close Visual Studio again. No, I don't want to save you. No one can save you. Now let's just put it in the root directory and just live with that. And then I think that's fine just to open it here. Propaganda. Right, this is good. Right, so it's got all these crosses in it because they're like not included, but I guess it doesn't matter because we don't care. So now we just want to try and figure out how do we, like, as long as we can just view the file thing in here and click on it and start doing stuff, I think that's fine. We just need to now figure out a way to kick off a build script by pressing F5, and then we should be rolling. So configure something. Yeah, I don't know if including projects is going to be good because I don't use the build system. Do I still need to add them to a project? Yeah, but I want to use a custom build system though, maybe. Right, let's see. Visual Studio, custom build step. Custom build that file, I guess. Give that a go. Bill, come on. So Gloria says, I think the best solution is to open up the project folder as an existing solution. Then just add exe for debugging. I understand you're not going to compile and edit the code base. Yeah. No, I know that I know that exists where you can open it up and use it as a debugger, but then you can't press the top and get it to compile, then launch it. And you have to have a terminal open up at the side and then tab to it, and then build it, and then go over into Visual Studio, then run it. And I know I'd basically do the equivalent in Linux, but if people are developing on Windows and using Visual Studio, they like to just be able to press F5. So I just want to get that to work. But if I can't, I'll just roll. I probably would do something like that. Yeah, we'll see. Step by step, add custom step to every file given type. Why not have dark mode? Ooh, help from the chat. Thank you so much. What the F, blub. Project settings, configure type, set it to make file, then configure all the commands it should run on each action. Interesting. Is it on project properties, right? Is that the same thing? Figure. No, it feels like a different thing. Oh, okay, right there in general. Right. Configure type, you got it. Yeah. Make file, right. Okay. Seems good so far. So you can then configure all the commands that can run on each action. Interesting. There's build actions or whatever is there somewhere. Whoa. Transform. So then we should be able to configure everything somehow. Then make and write the commands you want. This is what we're looking for. Oh yeah. Okay, so we should be able to say, basically we just want to say scripts backslash, because we're Windows, build.bat. And obviously in the future, we're not going to be using a batch file, but we're just using it because it's easier, I guess. In the future, we just want to use a C program, and if we have enough files, we might do our own little thing that Ninja or CMake does. But it entirely depends. If our code base compiles really quickly, we might not need it, and maybe doing a single compilation unit is probably fine. So we'll just see how long that lasts, and we'll just roll with this. So we should be able to click OK. And if I press F5, right, so I think the third party is not recognized. Excellent. So, yeah, it'll be good to see if we can get them in this error list as well at some point. Yeah, we'll just try and get things rolling. In QMake you can. What do you mean QMake? Right. So we try and run it from the terminal. So we're going to say scripts. Right, there's no dash p. There's a thing for this. HCC scripts. I've written this code before. Let's have a gander. Right, make. Oh, if not exists, make. Okay. open GameVet engine. Oh, I did a dash P. Ah, horrible. All files, my friend. Not just a text editor. I made a dash P directory. What is my life? Of course, qmake. Qt put when. Right. Right, qmake. I see. One of the many makes. Isn't there like xmake as well, which is like a Lua one? So if we run, careful here. So it should complain that HCC whatever doesn't exist. Right, we're using forward slashes here, and Windows is like no backslash. So we correct that. But obviously only for when you're invoking the commands, that is. The rest should be fine because it's given to the application. So it says there's no HCC exe, right? There isn't. So what we need to do is we need to get the latest and greatest Heroes C compiler. So yeah, we're gonna pull from main latest and greatest. I just realized I haven't checked in my latest and greatest work for this project. Let's think about this. Maybe it doesn't matter. I can do the changes locally. I think it was just missing a. I think we're just missing a quick edit in the code generation step. Right, I need two directories open right now because I just keep doing this. So I think I made an edit in the source code for metadata generation. In our metadata, oh look at this big font, just the best. I think in the metadata, right, we generate this enum for all the shaders, and basically we need to add. So it already includes the underscore from what I remember. So you just need to write count. So it puts the prefix for the shader enumeration, and then we put a count at the end, so we can get all the know the number of shaders at compile time in the actual main application. So I need to recompile one of those. So if we open up HCC, go to a terminal, we should be able to just invoke what we've been doing in our actual project. Build.bat. Fingers crossed it works. Right, see, it takes longer on Windows. Are you seeing this? One thing I've noticed about Windows is that clang, for some reason. It takes longer to compile. And I don't know why. Yeah, every letter of the alphabet, yep. Let's use GNU making magic with magic file that's great. Yeah. Yeah, GNU make is like, yeah. It's not the nicest. Yeah, I'm dual booting, yep, that's it. No virtual machine is installed on proper hardware on a separate separate M.2 drive. So my Linux can access my Windows, but my Windows can access my Linux because drivers, I think. I think people hate Make or GCC's been on Windows for ages, right? Yeah, I'm using Clang. Yeah, it's called MinGW, isn't it? Which is basically GNU. Right, so we've got a release package. So we're going to go and get the latest and greatest HCC. So all we would need is the executable. Right, so I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to go over to third party thing and throw it into our repo. Right, so that solves the problem now. So we can now progress. So what we need to do is do some more. Give it a run. Again, with that engine, we're going to do another build. Windows security just started complaining for some reason, but anyway. Right, so we're clearly missing some dash I's and stuff like this. So we need to re-edit that build thing, and then we need to, oh, not that one. Hey. These guys. So we've got all these dash I's in here. Yeah, this is just, right. Good enough. I think you can do that. You can put the hat or the carrot. But yeah, so we just need to include these dash I's there, so that should help us out with that one. Fingers are crossed. So what else are we trying to do? Am I missing any others? So we need dash Vulkan. I think we did that, right? Dash L Vulkan. Right, did we dynamically... Yeah, I think... I think we're good. Right. Let's try that one and see how far we get. We are still missing another... Like, we need to have win main. We need to have a win main instead, I think. We'll sort that out. Right, so now I did make edits to B stack trace, but we're getting errors now. So let's see if these errors actually show up in the Visual Studio. They're actually invoking Clang now, which is good. They show up in here. Excellent. I can double click and I should see them here. This is good. This is what we want. So I can press save all, right? And then if I close my Visual Studio, can we reopen it? And then can we just simply get, like, we got this here, no problem. It's remembered the last setup. Cool. Can I press that? It seems to be good, right? This is basically what we wanted, which is nice. Cool. So we've basically got this single header library called B stack trace. B stack trace implements stack traces on Windows, Linux, Android, Mac, iOS. Pretty good. It's a single header, 400 lines of code. And I did make an edit to it because it didn't ignore this itself, basically. It didn't ignore the B stack trace itself. So I added this ignore top count, which ignores the top elements of the stack trace. So now anytime we do an assert or an abort, we get stack traces like any other system. You know, if you use any other programming language, you get stack traces. But in C, you just have to try and figure it out yourself. And this library does it. And I have implemented it before on Linux, but I hadn't done the Windows one yet. So I just was looking around for a single header, and there was one. So I just grabbed it and used it. So I highly recommend it because it's pretty good. But we made an edit to it, and basically we need to figure that out. Is it called top or ret? Yeah. So we're just basically trimming off the end here. So we advance the pointer and trim off the end. No, we don't advance the pointer. We mem move it, then we trim off the end. Yeah. Is that the wrong way around? Do you want to mem move it first? Last indexes count. Yeah, I think you want to do that. You want to move it, then set on top because it's map. Yeah, it's been moved to the new space. Cool. So now it's saying there's some other problem. It says include not found in OS Linux. Okay. So in our main file, we just include everything, right? So we're going to fix that today. So we're going to say if defined OS core OS Linux. So we prefix anything in core with core, and so on, right? LF Windows. So this is our different abstractions. So we have an OS interface. It's very simple right now. We can extend it later. So there's an os.h. It's got like an event type. It's got an event structure, and it's got like a way to open up a window, get the backend information for Vulkan, and get a window size, iterate through the events, and read a whole file in. So we'll add more as we need it. So right, so we try and run that now. What happens? That's saying Vulkan core. So the reason is because on Linux, Vulkan core is just. It says cannot open file. No, wait, did we exclude those from the project? What's going on? So we run it. Do they show back up again? That's interesting. Better not do. Well, we're building a game without an engine. We are currently focused on building the initial parts of a game engine. The core essential parts, just so we can do some rendering R&D. But yeah, I do have a video. If you go to my YouTube channel, right there, you'll be able to watch this video here, Game Without Engine, and explain exactly what the whole project is about. And there's also VOD channels if you're interested in catching up as well. So, thank you. Yeah, so as I was saying, the Vulkan core, on Linux you have include directories. And the include directories are like part of the system, basically. But on Windows, I think you have to manually provide it, or maybe is it because it's not part of path? Am I just being a scrub at Windows? Right, what about my system path? It should be there's a Vulkan SDK. Yes, I think we need to say Vulkan SDK. If I look at my path. Oh, there's a Vulkan SDK in there. See it. Bin. That's for bin. Right. I can't even edit that thing. But anyway. Just want to see it. Yeah, Linux includes a user include. That's right, that's right. Yeah, I'm doing stuff with Vulkan. But we're doing it with compute shaders only. Because we want to try and see if we can do a minimal graphic stuff. Is it really? Just a dash I is that Vulkan? Can you do that, glorious sir? Because I do a dash L, right? For that's linking. But for the headers, it'll be another dash I, wouldn't it? So I think you can use the Vulkan SDK, and then you say Vulkan SDK slash include, right? Something like that. Yeah, full path, but you've got the environment variable Vulkan SDK, so that'll do it. And then inside the Vulkan SDK, there's an include directory, and that should have all of the things. Dash I header directory. Yeah, that's right. So we should be, if you look for Vulkan SDK, drop that in there. Uh-huh. Yeah, there's an include. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's right. And then you get Vulkan, and then there's Vulkan core in here. Nice. So, then we should be able to press the build, and we've advanced. This is good. So now we are in part of the Vulkan code. This is when you create your surface. So those who were here yesterday, Sunday. Wait, it's Tuesday rather. You'll remember that we had to basically set up a VK surface, a Vulkan surface, and it's effectively a way for Vulkan to communicate with the display manager uh, and refer to a specific window. So it's essentially a connection from Vulkan to the X11 window or the Windows window. So you need to give it a what's known as a H instance, and HWND. So it stands for handle window, I think. You need to give it the window handle. So what we're missing is this needs to be window backend connection. This needs to be window. And we'll figure out to get that in a bit when we do the backend stuff. So let's just see how many errors we can get through. Right, so it's actually compiled it now. Now it's trying to link it, and it can't get the lib. So we need to do a dash L as well. So we need to say dash. Now we'll put this onto a new line, right? We're going to say dash L. This means to look for libraries in this folder. We'll do that Vulkan SDK thing again. And then what we're going to do is use the lib folder, because again, there's a lib folder with all the libs in it. And there we go. Okay. So Vulkan -1. Right. Don't mind me. Vulkan -1 lib. And what we get now is a unresolved symbol. Excellent. So now basically a lot of these backend bits are referring to the OS file, but the OS file is empty. So what I'm going to do is go to the Linux side of things, grab it all, and we're going to convert it over. You can set H instance to 0 in main application binary. Only need to worry when DLL's registering and stuff. Interesting. No, I never knew that. Okay. So we also have to probably set up our main. So I have a question to everybody. In Windows, there's a console app and a I don't know, a windowed app. So if you're using a console app, you can use the standard main thing here. But in the console app, no, in like a windowed app, you have to use winmain, isn't it? It's like void winmain. You know, I don't know, but it gives you like that H instance. and stuff like that. Um, if you're making a game, what one like should use the win main one, right? Is that right? Um, but yeah, I'll just leave that question open. I was thinking about using the win main one. We'll see what everyone thinks. Console app versus Windows apps differs by win main versus main prototype. Yeah, because the main one opens up a console window, then you can manually open up the window itself. If you don't want a console, you can just have the Windows app version. But yeah, let me follow some of these links. Um, yeah, there's win main. That's it. Yeah, this glorious thing. Oh, it's an int returning. Um, yeah, we need to basically set a flag to get this in. So if we're going this route, right? We for a graphical based application. Yeah, yeah, it's okay to do links so long as they're on topic or like programming related, I imagine. For that. Thank you so much for the link. Appreciate it. In dev builds, line distribution. Interesting. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know if I want it in a dev build though. Maybe. Good. You can create console from Win32 subsystem if you want. That's true. Right, let's take a look at this link. Then we should have all the information we need, I imagine. Yeah, that's up. That's true. What's up? We are going to do library load in the future, but now we just need to get it up and running. In the future, we're going to do a library load, and then we're also going to manually load all the um, function pointers. But we'll talk about that in the future, just because I want to get focused on different things right now. Right. But then how do you get the H instance? Oh, but then you might not need the H instance, right? Hmm. How do you get your args though? Oh no, but you don't need the args. That's right. I can leave you a link, Zaka. Um, Vulkan function loader. Where is it? It's by yeah, by Arseny. Right, so this tells you about what's inside the Vulkan DLL. Basically, it needs to do like a hash table lookup for every function. It's a bit silly. Because it comes from a Vulkan device, which is like a different. Yeah, like read into it and you'll understand it. Because there is your application. Right, okay, I see. Right. So is it worth abstracting the main away? So if we want to get, so is there a way to get? I guess you'll just have a configure file, and you'll never use command line application stuff, right? So is there a way to do like a win main? Oh my days! Underscore argc argv. They do that. Get command line. Right, I see. Interesting. No, we're using just Win32, man. Yeah, you can do that. Get module hand. Yeah, that's a good one to do. Yeah, probably do that just in case. Cool. I'm not sure what I want to do about this win main thing. So we can either. So I think we might put it in the OS side of things. I know it's going to create an extra stack call, but I think we're going to do it that way. So I think what we'll do is we have an OS. So I think we might have like a game main or something that we call. And then stick that OS in a yeah, because so we might have game main or something like that, and we'll call it, and we can pass in the command line arguments if there are any. Um, okay, so it means you have to forward declare this, right? So that means in OSH, we're gonna forward declare this guy. Then I think in OS Linux, we're simply just gonna say int main, right? I'll just do that. I'm gonna call game main. It's really dumb, but I think it helps to make it a bit easier to see outside the file. So in Windows, we'll do this win main thing. Right, but anyway, we have to actually specify. I don't know what this CLR call thing is. Does it need to be there? Right. So that means we can grab the H instance. Right. So I reckon what we can do is we can then actually call into. We can maybe use some of that stuff. And then you can actually set the entry point if you don't want the default CRT stuff. Right. Small intros. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Let's just see if this will work. Game main. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think it might be standard call, mightn't it? Might be true. Win API. Whatever that one is. We'll include windows.h in this one, right? So we need to get in there and actually do that. So we're gonna have a Windows internal as well. So let's create one of those. Gonna dupe that. Right, so opens up in a. Open this one up in a. Let's delete that engine too as me being silly. So I want to go into source OS, copy that, paste it again, drop that in the face, and then Windows. So, there we go. So we want to include windows.h in here, which we are not really going to do in any other file. This is going to have our specific stuff. OS window. I guess it might be a handle. I'm not. I forgot. We'll have a look. But this is going to have stuff in it, right? Going to have this OS Windows. Bear in mind, I think we might, as time goes on, when we actually have stuff working on both platforms, I think we're going to abstract this a bit like we've done with the GPU side of things, where there will be a higher level abstraction, and so we can have like maybe an object pool for all the windows, and then it will call into the OS specific backend for to create the window. So we have shared code between the operating systems to handle simply like creating a window object or something like this, and have specific backend calls. Because otherwise I have to write the management code in each OS layer, and it will just be a bit weird. So maybe we can share some code there. I'm not sure. We'll see. So we might have to get the H instance. And then we'll yes, window, OS Windows. Terrible naming. I hate stuff just being a difference with a plural, but anyway. That's Windows as in the operating system, but that's Windows in a window. Anyway, right. So what we're going to do is, so we could just start implementing this file now. Wait, that just returned a function pointer. Don't do that. Don't be a silly. So I think you can get these Windows arguments. Let's finish that off. WinMain get command line arguments. So this no, it converts it to Unicode, doesn't it? But there's the other one where you can get the extra command line arguments. I'm not sure what it does. Weird, isn't it? Right, sorry for these blinding white screens. I thought I had dark mode, but yeah, apologies. So there's a get command line, and you get the arg list. Excellent. So I want something like that. That was the function I was looking at. Right, so we can use this thing. Yep. So argc argv. argc for arg count and argv for variables or whatever, I don't know. All right. So that should hopefully be what we need. So now what we're going to do is implement the actual operating system interface. So remember, as I was saying, we've got OS initialize, open a window, and we're only going to support one window at this time because we don't need multi-window yet. We're going to get the backendy bits, which is like the H instance and the window handle. They're just void pointers, so we don't have to expose anything like a platform specific header. It's just, you know, an integer of some kind, right? But we use void pointer. So then, yeah, also get the window size, iterate through the events, and read a whole file then. So I think on Windows, this one can basically stay the same. You just need to use the safe version. So what we're going to do is open up the one we've got in HCC for the sample application. and just basically use all of that goodness. Yes, we need this. Now, obviously, using the C API isn't the best, but again, we can make it better later. We just want to get stuff up and running and do a cleanup pass later. I cannot see any window here. That's because this is the platform code, and I separated the display manager out into another file for some reason. So nothing on the initialize. So you have to have this WinProc thing. We'll get to explaining what that is. So basically, WinProc is a callback that gets called when an event happens, and you have to call these special Windows functions. It's a real joy. So I want to stick it like below this because this is how my thing works. And keeping consistent with the code base. So I'm going to forward declare everything we have in the internal header purely because I like header files from the perspective of they're a zoomed out version of the code base, and I think that's a great benefit. So I want to keep everything forward declared in some sense. So if anything is only going to be in this os windows.c, it's in the internal file for that. And the public interface is in os.h. Right, so this is obviously OS Windows. DLT no secure one. Is that what you need? Excellent. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Let's do that. That'll be a good idea. So let's return back to sane version. That's safe. Crazy. So what you're saying, Maestro, and I think Ransel was saying it earlier as well, so thank you guys. Define for the Windows include. Excellent. Right, so we can use fopen and not required to use fopens. Cool. Etc. Yeah, compiler might. Oh, yeah, I've seen the compiler it uses, doesn't it? Yeah. Pros and cons. I think it's with the comment. Yeah, this is the only place. Well, there's going to be multiple places for it. You know what? Let's move it into the compiler better. Where's the build script? Here we go. So where's the dash D's? Close note. Look. I want to do another line of dash D's. Nice. That'll be good. Thank you very much. So, right, what do we need to implement now then? So we go to DM Win32, which is in my HCC project. We included this, so we got this WinProc thing. We'll show that in a bit. We'll get to there in a minute. But essentially, it's a event handler callback for events. So OS initialize had nothing. I remember. Oh no, but we can get the H instance, isn't it? And we can get that from this. That'll be good. I don't know about any handlers or anything, so we're just going to do that, and this is OS Windows. Now what we're going to do is probably just delete, oh no, yes, this is like times called, so this is basically saying, hey, no, only allowed one. I don't know why this is not showing up with the good. Um, yeah, this is so we can only create one window right now. Yeah, those defines as well, isn't it? Yeah, that's a good idea. Luckily, I don't use min-max, but it's probably a good idea. Yeah, Windows lean and mean, isn't it? Let's just double check with the internet, make sure it's the right one. Yep, that's the right one. Um, so we probably want to stick. Yeah, let's stick it as part of the compiler. Keep going there. Another dash D, Windows lean and mean. And another dash D for no min max. I remember seeing that one before as well, so I think that's fine. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah. At least it's better. So we just want to essentially just copy all of this. We're going to go over it, maybe make some edits, because this is again for a sample program I've just grabbed to do some stuff. But yeah, I'm going to stick this below, and then we can always look above to see what we need to correct. No, we'll stick it above. Yeah. No. Yeah, stick that. Okay. So register a window class. What's a window class? Maybe it's to say a group of windows for this application. Have a Google. What is a window class? Dev attribute system. Maybe it's a way to group windows together. So you're creating like a class name. What's best to do for that one, eh? Win23, that's the one. Right, so you can maybe inherit some other ones. Right. Guess this probably doesn't matter so much. Is a type of window basically define is a type of window that basically defines what winproc to call some such things, right? Yeah, but the name doesn't really matter so much, does it? Um, right, I see. I think the name is just debugging. Yes. But yeah, maybe we just call it like game window class or something like this. Cool. So we basically create this Windows classing. Got that A there because it's like we want the strings here to be ASCII. Right. Okay. Just debugging first. Good. Good to know. I forgot what these things do. Horizontal redraw, vertical redraw, own BC. I'm not sure exactly what these things do, but if you register a window class, include the flag. Right. Someone do this draw cache. Begin paint. I don't know if we use those things. Yeah, maybe we don't need that. But we'll keep it anyway. We'll see. So the H instance. H instance is in G OS Windows. We're just going to double check that in the header file quick. Got our H instance in there. Bam, there we go. So anyway, so we've got this thing called load cursor. Loads the arrow cursor. Defaults to the busy icon for some reason. Delete that. Yeah, so own DC means there's a pre-allocated DC for the window. Right. It gets reused. Do we need that for a game that uses Vulkan then? Is that a good idea? Um so yeah, we got this assert here. I don't know why my IntelliSense is not showing up or anything. Maybe because like we've not included these in the project, maybe. Let's try it. Right, so we include them in the project, it likes to highlight them all. Okay. We're gonna include everything in the project then. Right, let's give that all a save. Um oh, but now it doesn't. Right, so we just need to. Do we need to replicate everything, really? Include a search bar for the IntelliSense. Gotcha. So we can help this guy out, which would be really nice. We want to get all these, yeah? Help out our friend, the IntelliSense. So we want to go into here. Cannot open source file. What? But it can have a click on it. It's set by default if you pass. Right. Not sure what that means exactly, but we'll see in a second. Get to the events. .4 / third party. Why is it trying to open? Right, it's because we link to them, isn't it? Right, and they're not showing up in the the search path because I'm doing dash i's. Right. So I think I need to be a comma separated list. I'd imagine. Right? Dash i's are not cutting it. So um and they've probably got to be backslashes, right? You know. Right, don't mind me just doing rocket science. Wait, maybe a comma. Maybe we'll have to take out the commas, I'm not sure. Oh, okay. Semicolon. Right, of course, thank you. Correct that in a sec. Nearly there. Alright, so what we need to do is replace them with the semicolon. And then probably put no spaces in them as well. Oh, the edit's easier. Oh, damn it. Ah, I see. Right. Right, we're nearly there. Semicolon. Semicolon S. I think we're there. Aha, they did get removed. Oh yeah. But the Vulkan one was just crying about it. It doesn't seem to like Vulkan SDK. You know, not many people do, but why? Did I Vulkan SDK? That's right. We've seen this. Maybe it's a different thing you need. Visual Studio include path environment variable. It's like a dollar sign. Maybe. Right, let's try that one out. Damn Visual Studio. Right, so we check in here, it'll show expanded. Nope. Ah, you did. Ta-da! Bam! There we go. We did it. So now we should be able to see some IntelliSense here, which is great. You should be including 4. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing good. And then, alright, there we go. So, right, back to actually creating a window in Windows. So we have to make this class thing, which basically sets up the event handler and other attributes about the window itself. You have this class atom, which I guess is similar like that thing in X11, where it's like a deduplicated string or something like this. I'm not sure. Maybe it's another word for a handle. Bug might want to remove this from min-win. Bug. Um, right. So GOS Windows H instance. You can delete that really. So this is actually creating the window. So we use the EX version for extra bits and bobs, but there's an A at the end, which means ASCII. So any string that's provided is ASCII. So what do we do for window name in X11? This one should be excluded from the project. So it doesn't try and do silly stuff, right? But when we see the name of the window, did we not set a window name in Linux? Did we just get on without a window name? Because I created a simple window, is that why, instead of doing another one? Huh, I guess I did. Do you have, in the core, do we have like a name somewhere? Game name. So then in the GPU. Right, so we use the game name. It's currently game without end generate. We'll just stick that in here. And there you go. So that should open us up a window. Let's take a look at Master here. H redraw, horizontal redraw, and vertical redraw force full repaint when the window size changes. So those are kind of irrelevant if you're doing your own drawing as well. Right, so we should be able to get rid of all of these then. Thank you. Awesome. The size position use default. Yeah, we kind of want to set our own width and height. And then we also want to fail to open window, and then we're going to print the error. There's obviously better ways to do this, probably, but you could probably get a string out as well, but that's another thing for another day. So after we opened up our window, we seem to be getting the screen width and height. Then we set the position. Right, we don't want to do that. That's from the sample program. Now we show the window, so that's like X11 map window where it's actually going to show it, make it appear. Now what we need to do is set up right. We wanted to set up this, isn't it? Do all that. So Windows. Oh, did I switch to QWERTY? Jesus, QWERTY. Oh my. Please. Right, Windows dot window HWND HWND. So we need that in. We're just gonna stick it in here for now. Is this all capitals, I imagine? Yeah, there you go. H is all capitals. Cool. Right. So this should open up a window. Hey, Paya, how you doing? Awesome, awesome. Yeah, Visual Studio. We've been fighting with this thing, but we got stuff working. It's come together. How's things going with you? Right. So I think we can. Yeah. So let's like implement most of this file, get rid of the errors manually. But I don't know why this is. Right. I think I might need the extra squigglies in here. Unless we turn off some warnings because it's like a union embedded inside a structure or something. We'll see. Anyway, so to get the Windows backend, this is for the Vulkan side of thing, for the GPU side of things in Vulkan and that. be able to get hold of the H instance, right? And to be able to get hold of the um, and to get hold of the window handle as well. So when you create that surface, it's going to want to get hold of that. Cool. So why doesn't it like these dots? Is it because it thinks it's C++? Is that right? Does the right? So the IntelliSense is thinking it's C++. So it's like not liking it. We need to fix that as well. Um, Visual Studio, IntelliSense, Force, C11. No. Right, let's just say C99 and then that'll get it. There's probably a search for more, isn't it? Force C. Alright, let's think about this. So like, see, maybe we should just say build only in here. These errors anyway. But it'll be interesting to see if we can set C. Something like that. Yeah, I think they have C11 support in. I don't know about in Visual Studio, but they have it in their latest compiler. They have somewhat of a C11 support. But we're using Clang anyway. But I'm seeing in their IntelliSense, can it support anything other than maybe the IntelliSense only supports C89, right? IntelliSense C designated initializers. See that. Right, and sorry for this white screen. I need to install. You know, let's install the plugin, dark mode. Let's just get dark mode installed. Obviously, yeah, it goes to the Brave store, then it goes to Chrome store. Good one. Um, which one is it that I like? There's a certain one that I like because it might be this one. One that had an easy control panel for me. I think it was that one down here. Where is this one? I think this is right. They had like an easy control panel to actually exclude sites from the dark mode flip thing that it does. Yeah, I need to show it here to the pin. Well, sorry about that. Manage extension. You can go to site settings. No, 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 no. Right, then there'll be a whitelist. And you, yeah, it's comma separated, and just drop it in there. Excellent. So I can see like dashboard, Twitch. And also Twitch TV. And then whatever, right? So good. So they have to restart the browser. So drop that. Excellent. So MS Learn Microsoft. And it doesn't need to flip either. Right, so we'll leave this guy open and just... There we go, and we're good. Google's now solved. There you go, and now we won't get destroyed by the Dark Reader. What's good about Dark Reader? Is that a better one? You can't have extensions when looking at the extension site. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think my wife uses this one. I'm not sure. Is it better? Is the only good one? Right. Should I install it and go out my norms? Right, so you're about to get flash with white for a second. Let's give it a go. Let's see if right, it's checking. Right. So we'll do this, right? And we'll disable this one now. Not permissions. Let's turn it off, right? So we can always just re-enable it. Let's see how good of a job it does. So we just want it on. Right, go to Twitch. Now I need to do an exclude, right? Site list. Right, interesting enough. Why did that? Does it really? All right, let me close all. I didn't close it all. I don't think. Right, I picked it up. I think. Right, it seemed pretty good, didn't it? I didn't exclude anything. Nice. Hopefully this does the good job. I can't remember what it was recently that brought me to light mode IDE. Yeah, so light mode is good, right? If you if it's a light environment, but as you're in a dark environment, it's not. It is, yeah, much for dark mode. Right. Yeah, I think I've heard people say that you can read text better in light mode, but I don't know. I think you just got to get used. I think it's just what you're used to in that regard. I'm not sure though. Right. Okay. My strand just likes getting flashed. Right. This is cool. Thank you. Right. So back to where we were. I was reading this blinding white site, weren't we? But that's not white anymore. The fix for this has just been released. But unfortunately, it says it cannot. Oh, cannot autocomplete. Right. We're talking about autocomplete. Right. Compiler switches. Right. So again, if we're looking in like here at the IntelliSense, additional options, but what additional options are there? So is there like Visual Studio IntelliSense additional options? Ah, yeah, that seems about right because slash whatever is like an MVC thing, isn't it? So let's see if that'll work. I don't know if that works. Can we try C99 instead? Because designated initializers are C99. Huh. Oh, transform. Press the wrong key. Slash TC as well, right? I tried T. No, I'm pretty sure MSVC does C99, right? Right, try that TC thing out. Pow. So let's try slash TC. Right, that didn't work. Let's try. Let's try without the slash. I don't know. Do you need to reopen it? It seems to flash. Right, let's try and reopen it then. Let's do slash standard C99. Right, let's give it a close, save it all. Open it all up. Uh, okay. Hmm. So we could just disable IntelliSense, but it does have some decent. We can just we could disable the error squiggles, right? But it is kind of nice having them there and just be able to go over and basically get. Maybe there might be one or two small things where it's like, hey, those shouldn't really be errors, but if they're very rare, then it's maybe okay. No, there's just no IntelliSense for. Oh, there's only standard C11, is there? Okay. I have got the latest and greatest Visual Studio as well, so let's give that a go. Right, didn't work. Either. Right, so we could just disable the squigglies. Right, and you can do that by going into options. Thank you, Pi. If you could find the answer, that'd be pretty cool. Right, so we're looking for squigglies. I think we'll disable the arrow squigglies then. Because the rest of the stuff is kind of useful, right? Having this all highlight. Disable IntelliSense. Hmm, awesome. So we disable the error reporting maybe. Squigglies. No squigglies, please. The error reporting, we can just do that manually. There's no squigglies anymore. It's kind of nice, but oh well now. Now these error reportings, we can just do it here, right? Build only, and voila. Um, so yeah, that's okay, right? But if I can find it, we can just re-enable it. So anyway, unless anyone else has the answer as well. Yeah, you always need rocket science when doing Windows dev apparently. Hmm. Maybe ChatGPT will know. You never know. Okay, so we need to get the OS Windows. So now we're moving down to the it's right. We only got one function left to do in the OS side of things. WinAPI is fun. Yeah, I think the Win32 API isn't bad, but like just the Windows environment itself is like yeah, it's weird to configure. It's very different from Linux. It just feels like people from Windows always complain how bad Linux is, but then like they sort of fail to forget how bad Windows is. Like they all have their problems. C standard. Ooh, default legacy. Just such a good default, you know. Right, thank you. Hopefully this is the answer. And it is right. Right, what do you have here? So because you've got it as application exe, we want a makefile version. It's the things of the extra world where I'm not sure. Yeah, it's weird. Hmm. Yeah, this is like DLR crap. Uh, Maybe you can set it by opening up the project file as a text file, right? Right, what does it set the compiler flag? Right, fair play. Oh yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Uh-huh. Hmm. Alright, should we try one more time? Just disable those squigglies as they were called. Squiggle there. Squigglies, these guys. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're useful and we just have to ignore it. Yeah, but then these will always show up with an error as well. Yes, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Right. Worth a try though. Thank you so much for the suggestions. Right, squigglies are now disabled. No more squigglies. Rightio, so how do we iterate to the next event? So we have an implementation of that in the sample program um, for HCC. So we're just going to rob that one. Now, yeah, I think we'll just try and explain what goes on here. If people are happy to try and help correct me and fill in some more information, but we basically have this error out pointer, and we're going to go ahead and default it to this OS event type. And then we also have a wait. Why do we have that DM event thing? Give me a second. Ah, right. And then what we do is we set it to right. We set it to you right click your project solution folder, click properties. No properties. First for GPU. No, but that's not. That's the one that. Yeah, that's the one that Sten just sent a picture to, which is super nice. It's this one here, isn't it? But unfortunately, it didn't show up. Yeah, we don't have that because we use a manual. We don't use yeah. We don't use Windows Build or MS Build, whatever it's called. GOS Windows E out. Right, we're gonna set that to E out. So the thinking is we store it in a global variable because we're about to go through some callbacks. Right, so now I'll explain what the next bit is. So we peek to the message. We get back this MSG here, right? It's a nice healthy MSG. And we use the window handle here. So OS Windows dot. How's the lighting situation looking? A bit dark, isn't it? I wanna switch on a light. So because we only have one window, we're just gonna use that window handle, right? In multiple windows, we'll probably end up having to do something else. But anyway, go with that for now. I'm gonna say PM remove. Yeah, because I guess we're gonna remove. So what peak does is peak will not lock, right? So it will not block, meaning it won't sort of like wait for the next event. Instead, what it'll do is it will check to see that if there's an event there. If there isn't, it will return false, and then we return false. But if there is an event there, it's going to remove it, and then we take the message, and then we do this translate message thing, which is something you have to do, and you have to call dispatch message as well, right? I tried to do it without this, and then I couldn't receive certain events because what happens is dispatch message will end up calling your winproc, which is that callback you did when you created the class here, right? This one, right? Which we have down here, which we're about to edit. And then what will happen is internally that is going to end up going into here with one event, right? And then the event is not going to get handled because we wouldn't have handled that specific event. There's some other sub event somewhere. And then we'll return this def win proc, which is, I guess, is like what is the default thing to return here. And then this thing will end up calling back into here again and then giving you like a win close or something like that that I experienced. So yeah, you want to be, yeah, I think it's maybe good to call these things here. I'm not an expert at this, but that's from my experience of what I've had. So yeah, but anyway, we're about to dig into how we set this OS event, which we need to set the type. So obviously one of these guys. There will be more, and the key press and key release are already done right now. They just return a char key, but yeah, that's going to get improved in the future. We just want to get something working first. Weird. So you only get messages for the window, but if you get other thread messages for whatever reason, fetching going through dispatch is better. Right. Hey there, Ransel. Right. Good to see you, Ransel. Have a good rest of your evening. All day. Right, I see. Right, so translate messages is anyone you actually need, is it? So can I avoid this callback? That would be really good. But maybe the wind close might have to be something different, but we'll see. Right, so why don't we do this then? Let's see if we can do that, right? So it'd be great if we don't need this callback. Let's put it in here. So the plan is, can we not? Let's remove this thing here. So the plan. Oh, you still need the wind proc. Oh, you still want to go through. Oh, sorry, I misread your message. Right. Yeah, I misread it as only needed translate message. Right. Sorry, yeah, you meant is only needed. Right. Gotcha. Right. So undo that then. Right. Thank you. Plop that back there. Right. So in WinProc, what we do is we get this event from the GOS Windows dot eout, right? So if the event is set, it's been called via dispatch message after translate message. But if it's not been set, then it's been called via peak message or create window ex. So I use stack traces here to find this stuff out. When you call peak message and when you create a window, it actually calls into here and does some stuff, which is really weird. But yeah, so we want to call this default window proc thing. Right, I see. Fair play. Yeah, I think I'll keep it. Um, so then while we're in here, um, we then, if we get size, and it means it's a window resize, we process that. Then we clear out the event to say it's been actually set. And then There's a close event. There's also a key press event as well. Okay, very good. So that should this should now be the OS. This should be the OS abstraction. Um, let's see. Let's see what else we have to get compiling and what in here is actually broken. So press F5, seal. Mancal. Love it when everything is Hungarian notation and basically readable if you don't know what you're doing. What do you mean Hungarian notation? We have like a prefix where you say like where we do those prefixes like basically like the Vulkan library where it's got like P whatever. But yeah, this one has like L result, like long result, I guess. Like that sort of stuff. Right, so it's got some errors here. U pointer in standard lib. Damn it. P stack trace. Passed in via the command line and then yeah, but since it's this is another one of the benefits of it being part of my code base is I can just go in here and just delete it. Because I know it's going to be passed in via the command line, right? Now, in OS Windows, apparently, what we also haven't done is rename these to OS event type. So they're not really liking what we and that's fine. Now this thing, so the standard lib includes somewhere. Right. So the Windows internal should include core. Right, this is the problem. No, it includes core. And then core includes standard int, which should have uint pointer in it. But it doesn't. Where is uint pointer declared? Uint pointer. That should be in standard int, right? Or is it in standard def? Yeah, come on, it's in standard int, isn't it? Can we include that? Yeah, we dual boot Windows. Right. Yeah, I'm not sure if I like that. Yeah, like an LP void. So weird. It's okay though. Like the way they do it in Vulkan is not that bad. In Windows, it's like really difficult to read and understand. But if you look in the Vulkan headers, it's actually a lot nicer. But yeah, it's not my sort of thing though. Because typically I like type in the name and not have to like in the IntelliSense to work better. Yeah, maybe let me include it in OS and see if it works. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure I'm including it, right? Let's press F5 again. Maybe it's in a different file. It's trying to include standard lib. But then it all includes core. I don't know which file is complete. Does it tell me the file? Oh, oh, sorry, it's doing build plus IntelliSense again. Right, right, ignore me. That was the IntelliSense not figuring it out. I was in 1+1. Right, argv, argseat. Interesting. Right, because we need to make this like char star, isn't it? Roll with that. Right, don't we want like an A version? Is that right? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, when you're familiar with it, it's probably not so bad. But yeah, desktop or family? Or desktop family or gaming family? Oh yeah. Right. Show API. Do I need to include the show API? Show API. Right, that seems to have worked. But that's a wide string. Is there a Is any W one? Can you get a parses Unicode? Yay. Is there a way to get it in ASCII, man? Or ANSI? Yeah, what you have to do is use malloc. Yay. Oh, I might need to link the show. I think I might have already linked some of these things, but yeah, thank you. I still might need it though. Yeah, thanks. I'll keep an eye out. Yeah, there wasn't an A. I tried an A. It didn't work. I'm gonna have to manually convert it. Like, ready. Then you have to go over the number of arguments. Do white chart to multi-byte. Look at it. Glorious code. Yeah. Problems I want to be solving. So, we're just gonna do probably none right now and skip it. But, win main. Yeah, because maybe that might be useful or something. I don't know. Like, we can just go over all the strings and get it converted. That is probably not too hard of an issue. Get command line A. So you can get command line A. Right, but does that get you a... Right, so if I can just get command line A, can I just manually parse that and put null terms in it and then do a chain of... And then do a... allocate an array of whatever. Well, use my Linux system, we use Manjaro. Yeah, I think that is this just a parser, isn't it? And it counts them. Yeah, I'm not going to parse it. So, oh, weird. What that is. Yeah, okay. I think for now we'll just leave it as a to-do, right? But it's interesting. There's an LP something. Well, it's not that, is it? Something else. LPCW. Right, get command line W then. W. Right, what's the W string? Auto. Not a fan of autos. Problem with auto is that you don't know what the type is when you read it back. Good. Right, so here what we're going to do is we're going to comment this out and just put a lovely to do there. Right, to do, translate into ASCII strings, right? Otherwise you have to do that, but you do. So we'll just say, we'll comment that out. Then, see, we could have just used a standard console and then we wouldn't have to do this problem, but anyway. We won't get the directory of the executable anymore, but that's fine. We're not going to use these yet. When we need it, we'll do it. Yeah, not a fan of auto. Yeah, auto is coming to C23. Unfortunately, they did a silly. They did a silly, unfortunately. Right, core unused. Gotta drop all these in there. H instance. Rightio, let's keep this going. Oh, did we do a thing? Oh, okay, no, just focus changed. I was getting excited there. Oh, wait, did it try running? Right. The build succeeded, but I don't think there was a way to launch it at the end, right? So it basically went to the program that we had, the build script, and I don't think it. Right, so can we say and, right? Dot forward slash, no, not dot forward slash. It would just be like build backslash game dot exe. I didn't put a dot exe at the end. I'm not true Windows person. Give me a minute. I gotta amend my shortcomings. Yes. Um. There we go. True developer. So the thing is, the .exe is actually a good thing to have because if you use Git, you can actually Git ignore that. But if you don't have an extension, it's hard to Git ignore a file unless you explicitly name every file. You can't wildcard it, you know. So yeah, .exe is kind of a good idea. That's all saved, very good. So let's give this a go. Ta-da! Windows! We did it, people. There's our compute shader running. It actually felt like we was really far away from this, considering all the shenanigans we've been doing, but I guess that's how good the abstraction is, right? You know, we just implemented that one file, and now it's here. But we don't have a console for some reason. So how can we get that? We could obviously get get a console to be displayed, and we could just use a console application, right? But yeah, let's think about this. I use typeof and generic macros and stuff. It's quite nice, quite handy. Yeah, typeof is really good, and and I'm glad typeof is coming, but you don't really need auto. Because the problem with auto is it means you get people actually using it, like in places that are not macros, and then it's really bad. And then people be like, "Oh, now you have macros. That means That means what would be a really good fit is lambdas." And then and then the features start coming in more and more. So it's you know, if they're coming in to solve one problem, it's probably not a good idea. Why is auto a problem? Because you can't, when you read the code, you don't know what type it is. Like, you literally don't know what the type is. You have to use IntelliSense, or you have to try and work it out by looking at the return of the expression. You can set the exe as a startup process. You can set the exe as a startup process for run/debug separately. Right, does the debug work here? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Astran. Are we not hitting these files? Right, maybe we oh, it didn't think we were. For some reason it expects it to be called game without engine exe that it launched. Right, why does it expect that? We can probably just search through the. Right, let's try this thing out for a sec. Let's close this. I reckon we can open this in Notepad and just figure it out easier, you know what I mean? Rather than digging through settings. Right, it's not in there either. Yeah, maybe it's not, it's defaulted to something, it's just default value. Ooh, thank you, Master. Right click, properties. Wait, yeah, I've tried looking through here. So what the fblub is saying in the settings, set the output of the path to your exe. Oh, sorry, the output to the path. Ah, output, got it. Thank you so much. So build backslash game.exe. Oh yeah, Windows. Now we're running. I can click here. Oh yeah. And then we should be able to see the terminal, right? Here's the output. Oh, but it's output to here because it's Windows. You have to use output string, right? There ain't no output debug string. Um, so this is where we probably should have like a logging utility or something. Um, so we pick the right one. Now, I think you have to do this as well. I think, right. Let's just do this because it doesn't support format stuff. Um, so we're just gonna say key pressed, and then here we're gonna say window resized. So give this a run. Wait, why have we got this now? Right, we're seeing key pressed down here, which is good. Maybe because it thinks it's a console application. Because it's launching it with the debugger, isn't it? Right, Maestro was saying... Oh, right. Yeah. Right, so you could configure it here, you were saying. But, I don't ever want that debug. I don't ever want that. Hmm. Was it launching that console before I had these things? Wasn't it? But I'm not even printing out to here when these things happen. But I think it's okay. Thank you very much. It's one of my best pieces of work. Hope you like it. Yeah, it could be printf actually, but maybe it could be. I don't know. Do I have printf everywhere? Um, Standard error, but that's only from. Yeah, maybe let's get rid of those. See what happens. No, it launches it first, but I haven't compiled it with that special flag. Um, so maybe that's the answer. Like Windows um, application main. We're looking for right Clang Win32 Win main command line arc. The way to I don't think it's this one. That's just to avoid the C runtime, isn't it? Change the build type. Hmm. So then where is the build type? Oh, okay. So we don't have a main. Yeah, we don't have a main. So it's the linker that does it, is it? Okay, it's good. But it doesn't do it when you launch it, right? So if I was to go into here, double click it, it crashes because the current working directory is wrong. But you saw it didn't launch the console first, right? And now that buggered up. But we do, it does say launch Windows debugger. I think that is the issue. Sorry, local Windows boot. No, maybe. Right. It is the debugger, okay. Debug tab. Hmm. That's not what we want. Attach. No. Environment. Merge environment. Alright, I didn't say anything there by the looks of it. Yeah. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's just an extra window. I'm not calling analog console. At least I don't think I am. Pretty sure I'm not. Let's double check though. No, we're not. Change the top left someone else. I don't know. It's not. Try changing the start process to the exe rather than target path. Interesting. Right. So what you're saying is try and say, so I've cut it just in case. Right, still launched this thing. And nothing's coming out even if I put stuff in here and it does printf, which is weird. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Right, so like Visual Studio launches uh window like console. Prevent console window from closing. Default prompt, you press return to close. If you use the debug, you should put breakpoint for no. I think this person's asking a different thing to what I want, but there's no linker properties in there because it's all separate. But it's all automatic and it should be fine. Ah, automatically close console. This would be a big help. Tools. What? Oh, tools options. Debugging. Yep. Auto magically close console. So that would be a big help. It's okay to exist, I guess, right? It doesn't matter. We can just ignore it. Not the end of the world. There you go. So that'll be a big help. Awesome. Let's take a look at like what files we ended up changing in the end. This is HCC. We can Ignore that. Right, it's tons of garbage. So we need to actually exclude a lot of this stuff. So open up the git ignore. We need to add a .vs thing there. So this will get refreshed in source tree here. One would hope. Oh yeah, it is. Good, good, good. So we've added, this is dot stuff here. Basic stuff here. So these need to go in the scripts directory. That needs to get deleted. Bear in mind, there's also been another one called x86 debug log. I guess we'll add that again to the x64 rather, that's what I meant. So then all we've got left is obviously the source directories change. Sorry, the source files change, a couple of third-party things, right? All that and zero is dangerous. Let's discard that change. Classic. So the solution got added. These guys, this user file shouldn't be added, right? I think. Maybe we'll keep it, I don't know. Try change this thingy. Let's give that a go. Alright. Debug. Yeah, but that just... Huh. Yeah, but then it wouldn't launch a console, will it? Yeah, no, I have to set up a different environment. Yeah, but then it wouldn't... Yeah, because you wouldn't be launching a debugger, maybe. No, maybe you launch a debugger. You will. Yeah, I'm not sure what it is, but it's fine. It's better than what we had. So people can click on it, and providing they've got a setup already, at least they can just use this solution. I don't like sticking it in the root directory, but it's just it is. This user thing though probably shouldn't be there. Filters needs to stay there, I guess. What is the dot filters for file anyway? Let's have a look. XML file ms build that's located blah blah blah. It specifies which files go into the logical folder. So I don't think we need that anymore because at the end of the day we switched for it to make, right, a custom make thing. So if we simply delete it, it shouldn't come back. Okay. So now if I take a look, it's not come back, which is good. So then what we should be able to do is go into the gignor again. And we should be able to say star.vs vcx proj user. So then we don't want that in there as well. So those are both gone now, which is good. So we've got only 2 files regarding Visual Studio now in the repo, so that's really nice. So let's just double check. We've done this if def, we've changed main to game main. Vulkan got changed only a tiny bit. Fine. Sort that out. Yeah. So Linux, we changed this prototype and we ended up making a main, a wrapper for main because they are different across the platforms. We've added a whole Windows OS backend file with fixed B stack trace. Oh, we don't know if that actually works yet. Should we give that a go? Good check. We've obviously added these solution files. Build.bat we've added, which is our temporary build script. If things get more complicated in the future, we'll make it. Yeah, and Windows internal.h, and we've added the HCC exe, right? Our custom C compiler for shaders in there as well. Okay. What I usually do with git ignore is ignore everything, then whitelist stuff. Not a bad idea. Yeah, because then that would ignore. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Well, it is a bad idea for Linux executable. Because I've wanted some to go in LFS, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure I want to attach to the console though. What's up? But what does it do anyway? Let's take a quick gander. But also, before I forget the thing I was just trying to do next. Um, oh, you wanted to test the asserts, isn't it, for the stack trace? Yes. Do I remember that? Attach console. Attach process to a console. So maybe I want to attach to that console. Yeah, I don't know if I'm that fussed about it. Yeah, I don't use this thing. The idea is to not let the console show up. Um, so what we want to do is actually assert. We're going to assert in the GPU side of things. There's assert here. So we're going to say core abort. I'm going to abort and say woohoo. Um, just to see what sort of stack traces we get. So in the abort, it landed there and here. It's good. I don't see anything actually show up, which is not good. Doesn't show up in here either. That's because obviously we haven't printed standard error. That standard error is not visible because those are some other terminals that open. So I cannot tell, which is a shame. But there is a stack trace string, so all we need to do is put a surgeon here. Sorry, breakpoint there. And then what we can do with that is we can just simply view it here. So it did start at core. Right, let's take this with us. Oh no, no, no. No, no, no. I can view it in the watch window maybe. Or is a local window, something like that? But yeah, this is fine because it's saying it's starting at core, which it is, which is typical. I made it ignore two levels, which ignores these B stack trace internals, and then it goes and does GPU 22, right? And then it does some other stuff. So let's just see GPU 22. Yeah, it's on 22, right? There's the core ball, so that's good. Um, right, so I'm glad that works fine. Let's close these guys that need to wait. So let's make a commit. And then let's move on to the next task. So, amend, push. We want to say add initial support for Windows. There you go. So for those of you who are waiting for that Windows support and want to give the application a run and have a play, you'll be able to do a pull on the repo. and yeah, have a bit of a play with what we have. So, what is the next thing we want to work on? That is the synchronization code. Because the problem is we have a dispatch here and it runs our super lovely GFX CS for compute shader clear. So in our shaders thing that we've got written in C, compiles using our super lovely custom C compiler. What happens is, and this is annoying with this isn't it? I might disable that. Can I disable that? IntelliSense. Basically, it's too intelligent, you know. So it will do like a fade out with the if defs. It is kind of nice though. I'll give it that. Um, for some problems, it is actually quite nice, right? But for this particular problem, it's really annoying, and my whole shader is going to be in here. Is open source? No. The code is available for people who support. So if any subs, Twitch subscribers. So if you have an Amazon Prime account and you can basically get it for free. Or if you support via Ko-fi, which is the best way to support if you want to send me more of the money. Basically, that's the best way. But if you join the Discord and take a look at the channel, it tells you what happens when you sub via Twitch or support via Ko-fi. You link your account to Discord, and then you can basically get access to the code. Just with a git clone away. So it's quite simple to get access to. But I do plan on making it open source. Like, if we ever get to the point where we end up wanting to release something from this, I probably plan on making it open source sometime after its initial release. Like, I want to have it. I want to protect from people just basically stealing it, but also have a way for people to like also learn from the code and use it in their own projects, right? So like I want to protect the the idea of the project in a way, um, and all the intellectual property for it, right? That sort of thing. The colorization is something like show inactive blocks, maybe. That sounds about right. Thank you, thank you. In 55%, interesting. So maybe we can make it more subtle and then it's not annoying. Right? Maybe we can say, hey, make that a 80%. And then that's noticeable, isn't it? Like if I come down from here, maybe let's do 75. And then we can at least yeah, that's enough of a difference. But I don't know, does that feel annoying? Maybe it does. We'll get used to it. Maybe. Anyway, so we have our custom compute shader that we compile using our custom C compiler, and it just simply clears the screen. It's very hard coded, but we'll get to that in future. Right. So the problem is if we were to run more compute shaders on the same resource, the GPU is going to be like, oh boy, you are using half of the compute on this GPU. I have more compute units, so I can run your compute shader on. So it's going to go ahead and schedule it, meaning two compute shaders will run at the same time. And then what will happen is they'll both write to the same resource, and then you'll basically get like a race condition where things just overwrite each other. And yeah, so we want to avoid that. So how I want to avoid that is by putting proper sync code in. So because we're using compute only, this sync code could probably be easier. And I think the way we want to roll is have a very, maybe have like a manual thinking thing. So maybe, so we could probably automate it, because HCC just does provide some reflection information for these constants here, these bundle constants that we upload to the shader. But the issue is if they don't come from there, they come from another buffer somewhere, then you have to manually do it anyway. And also another thing is we are simply just trying to get enough so we can do some R&D. And in the R&D, I don't think we need it to be super automated and everything. So for now, I think what we might do is while we're still getting familiar with the code base and what we actually want, I think we can say GPU sync and simply just say sync like read write or write only. And we say, right, we want to sync on this surface resource, right? And then when we use it later, we simply will say we want to use it as write only as well, and then we do a dispatch. Yeah, and then we'll do another dispatch of some kind, right? So I think what this will end up doing is this will store some state. It will store like in an array somewhere. Hey, we want to use this resource as write only. And then what it will do is when you do a dispatch, it's going to check to see what it's gonna check to see if, because if you did like read only, right, you can do multiple read onlys, right? But I think, yeah, we'll be doing yeah, so I think we'll say like this one says write only, and then when it dispatches it'll be like, well, there's nothing else trying to write to it, so it won't put a barrier in. But then this one's will say like it wants to do a write only, and then when it does the dispatch it will be like, well, the previous command that got recorded into the command buffer is write only, or it is what's the way of saying this? The last state that the surface resource ID was in was a write only mode, which means that we cannot have this run in parallel, so we need a barrier. So then we'll place a barrier before the dispatch for all the resources that need that, right? So I think it's not too difficult to implement. I think we can actually do it in very short period of time. So this is what I want to do, and we're going to start this in just a minute. I just need to quickly take a break, but I'll be back in 2 minutes. So yeah, I would say enjoy the tunes, but I've been able to set that up with my current stream setup today. So yeah, anyways, I'll be back in a Hey everyone, welcome back. This okay, yeah. I just realized the time actually. My Windows computer says it's 10 past 9 and it's lying. It is wrong. Just check my phone, it's actually 10 past 10. I did think the stream was taking was longer than the time. I want to set my clock now. Yeah. Like an hour off. It's not right. I'm in uh, why does it not understand adjust for daylight savings automatically, right? Then it goes an hour before? No, not how this works. It's like 10 p.m. here. That's insane. Linux sets your BIOS clock to UTC, and Windows uses your local time. Ah, excellent. Right. Yeah, so that's a bugger. Right, so I just realized then I don't necessarily have the time to actually do this today. So next stream we'll just do it on the on Manjaro, right? We'll come off Windows and we'll do it there. So yeah, it should be pretty easy to do the sync code. And I think also what we'll do, so we'll do the synchronization code. We'll get some other form of resources in as well, like get some buffers, get some textures working, right? And then that should be every feature that we would need to do some R&D, right? We've got shaders, textures, buffers, and synchronization code. Oh, we also need a way to upload. Upload. Do we need a way to read back? No, we don't. We don't want to read back anything. So yeah, and a way to upload some data, right? So should we quickly check that in the right? So we want to add some form of like this is the to-do list to do for next time. So the to-do list is simply um, sync sync resource, right? And auto insert barrier um, at dispatch, right? The other thing that we wanted to do was um, add resource, add resources, aka buffers and textures, right? And the other one was add essentially a way to upload. Add a way to upload to buffers and textures. Voila. There we go. So we should be able to do probably these top two next stream, and hopefully we can maybe do this last one as well. That's just been quite optimistic, but maybe we'll do that. So this will be happening on Sunday at 4 p.m. GMT +1. Yep, they are littered. It's really hard to get rid of all your to-dos. It's really hard. So hard. But yeah, thank you all for coming. Thank you for all the help with the Windows stuff because that was a big pain in the butt. But I'm glad we got it out of the way. Windows should now be a lot easier to deal with. Um, right. Next stream. So do you want to put a tag in here as well? Can we put a tag? Why don't I see no tags? I thought I... Day 3. Ah, 2 seconds, my wife is calling. Coming to remind me it's like bedtime. Right, just find somebody. Oh, no, my goals. Get out. Get out my goals. But yeah, there's Discord for those of you who want to come hang out. There's Twitter where I post my updates. We also have a YouTube where we're going to post some devlogs and things, hopefully. Yeah, that's about it. That's about it. What else we doing? We go to the Twitches. There's somebody to read. Um, can't see any C's or C++s. Might just bail to be fair. Right. Yeah, thanks for coming everyone. I'll see you all in the next feature stream. Have a good rest of your work week and I'll see you all on Sunday. Right. Thank you.